Trump returned to Pennsylvania yesterday for the first time since his attempted assassination to a crowd of thousands in Harrisburg. He brought out the staffer who created the slideshow for the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. Trump turned to a slide on immigration moments before the gunman took aim at him.
You heard it here first, guys. New details about Donald Trump's assassination attempt.
This is a Fox News alert. Shocking new video from one of the Trump rally shooting victims showing a figure moving on the roof moments before the would-be assassin opened fire.
The local SWAT team assigned to help protect former President Donald Trump on July 13th just confirmed they did not have any contact with the Secret Service agents in charge of security before a would-be assassin opened fire. No communication at all, but here's what they said.
We were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. So I think that was probably a pivotal point where I started thinking things were wrong, because that never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
No, not until after the shooting, I believe. Yeah.
And by then?
It was too late.
The Secret Service declined to respond directly, but told ABC News the agency is committed to better understanding what happened and is offering complete cooperation with ongoing investigations.
The suspect is directly above us.
Members of the Beaver County SWAT team rushed to the shooter's rooftop.
There's a ladder right here.
As seen in footage from Rich Gianvito's helmet camera.
Thanks, brother. Yep.
So we had access through that ladder, got up onto the roof.
And as you're scrambling onto that roof, you don't know for sure whether he's dead or alive, or whether you'll encounter fire.
At that point, no.
So what are you prepared? Are you prepared for a firefight at that point?
Well, we're prepared for anything at that point, because at this time we're unsure.
The team believes it did everything it could have to thwart the attack, but accepts its share of failure.
CB, it's ironic that one of the people who actually got shot wound up shooting the video where it looks like the shooter is running across the roof.
Take a look at this. You can see, starting at the 1-minute mark, what appears to be a person running on the roof of the AGR building, which is adjacent to where Trump was speaking on the rally stage. The person is visible until about the 2-minute and 50-second mark. Copenhagen took this video at 6:08 p.m. and we know from the FBI would-be assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks began firing around 6:11 p.m. He managed to get off 8 shots before he was shot and killed by a Secret Service counter sniper.
I think we all failed that day.
How so?
Life was lost.
Yeah, people died.
Just tell her to come out here for a second. Quick, 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 quick. She saved my life, in a sense. I said, you saved my life. Here she is. Wow. Wow.
Hi.
Like they said, guys, it was a critical part of the planning and communications failures that ended with a gunman killing 1 man, critically injuring 2 more, and wounding Donald Trump as he delivered a speech just days before accepting the Republican presidential nomination. The fact that the one time that SWAT is not briefed by the Secret Service, an assassination attempt occurs, people are really starting to wonder if this was really a coincidence to begin with. You know what I mean? But by the way, the guy that's talking was Jason Woods, lead sharpshooter on the SWAT team in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. I mean, it sounds like a guy you'd want to be in the know, right? He said they were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service members whenever they arrived, and well, that never happened. He even said that they started thinking things were wrong because it never happened. They had no communication. With Kimberly Cheadle gone from her position as Secret Service Director, it was acting U.S. Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe Jr. that faced the Senate during a hearing on the attempted assassination.
This point of view is the point of view where the counter sniper team locally was posted. The gold arrow indicates where the shooter fired from. Why was the assailant not seen? When we were told that building was going to be covered.
But the Secret Service, he showed a window that was maybe there. Right here,
exactly.
Looking out to the roof.
No, that's not where we were assigned. We were assigned over here in those first 2 windows.
So he's wrong about the assignment.
Absolutely.
According to Rowe, the information about a gunman on top of a roof was never relayed to agents providing security for former President Donald Trump at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, when a shooter opened fire and nearly assassinated him. But according to Senator Ron Johnson, who was a part of the panel, it sounded like Acting Director Ronald Rowe was throwing local law enforcement under the bus, but without giving them any kind of details. A panel of senators questioned Rowe during a hearing on the attempted assassination, including Senator Mike Lee, who asked how the president could be allowed to take the stage in the first place. Senator Josh Hawley repeatedly asked Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe Jr. if anyone has been fired after the failed assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. I mean, just watch the clip and you guys see if this guy is any improvement on Cheadle.
The person who made the decision to send Donald Trump onto stage knowing that you had a security situation, has that person been relieved of duty?
No, sir, they haven't.
Has the person who decided not to pull the former president off of stage when you knew that, in your words, the locals were working a serious security situation, has that person been relieved of duty?
No, sir. Again, I refer you back to my original answer that we are investigating this through a mission assurance, and as opposed to zeroing in on one,
what more do you need to investigate to know
exactly what the decision-making process was?
What more do you need to investigate to know that there were critical enough failures that some individuals ought to be held accountable? I mean, what more do you need to know?
What I need to know is exactly what happened, and I need my investigators to do their job. And I cannot.
A lot of people didn't do their jobs.
I cannot put my thumb on the scale. Otherwise,
what do you mean put your thumb on the scale?
You're asking me, Senator, to completely make a rush to judgment about somebody failing. I acknowledge this was a failure of the Secret Service.
Is it not prima facie that somebody has failed? A former president was shot.
Sir, this could have been our Texas school book depository. I have lost sleep over that for the last 17 days, just like you have.
Somebody to hold them accountable.
I will tell you, Senator, that I will not rush to judgment, that people will be held accountable, and I will do so with integrity and not rush to judgment and put people unfairly persecuted.
Unfairly persecuted?
Unfairly,
we've got people who are
we
dead.
have to be able to have a proper investigation into this.
So you could see why this whole thing with the Secret Service can be downright frustrating, right? After the hearing, Senator Roger Marshall, he even called for an independent, non-political commission to study the entire crime scene. He even called for our commander-in-chief, that's President Joe Biden, by the way, to immediately appoint a crisis leadership team to go into the Secret Service, establish that leadership, turn things upside down, and begin providing adequate protection for President Donald Trump and others. Another lawmaker who got into a heated back and forth with acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe Jr. at the hearing. This was Senator Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz asked about the Trump security detail, requesting more resources and reports that the resources were shot down. And according to him, Secret Service leadership made a political decision to deny these requests and that the Biden administration has been suffused with partisan politics. Senator Roger Marshall made it very simple. Congress has doubled their budget in the last 10 years. They have 8,000 agents protecting 33 people that they need to be able to roll up the people that are sitting and doing nothing in these offices. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a theory. This is the cold hard truth here, guys. Last but not least, Senate Republican Conference Chairman John Barrasso led a majority of the Senate in introducing a resolution Tuesday to officially condemn the attempted assassination of former President Trump. If it passed in the upper chamber, the resolution would condemn the attempt on Donald Trump's life, honor the victims who were killed and injured at the rally, and call for unity and civility in the United States. They even got 64 co-sponsors for the resolution, including both Democratic Pennsylvania Senators Bob Casey and John Fetterman, whose constituents were victims. Now, I don't know, guys. Maybe it's time for people to go to jail for a real crime and not the BS crime that was charged for January 6th. You see, guys, this is the kind of news that we really need to be talking about here because, seriously, the mainstream media is just trying their hardest to silence this narrative. For one, they just found out that the likes of Meta and Google have been censoring assassination attempt searches. Trump lashed out at Meta and Google following the outcry from social media users. Users reported that images and searches of the assassination attempt are being censored or marked as digitally altered. According to Donald Trump on Truth Social, Meta and Google have made it virtually impossible to find pictures or anything about this heinous act. Both are facing big backlash over censorship claims. So yeah, guys, time we shone some light on the real truth on the Trump assassination attempt. Make sure you guys watch it as quickly as you can because I don't know how much longer they're going to let this video stay up on YouTube. And while you guys are at it, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so that more like-minded people people can find our content. All right, appreciate you guys. So first, the local SWAT team confirming that though they were assigned to help protect former President Donald Trump on July 13th, they never had any contact with the Secret Service agents in charge of security before the would-be assassin opened fire. And take note, guys, this is the first public comment since the assassination attempt. The SWAT team on the ground that day and their supervisors spoke exclusively with ABC News senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky. In fact, the first time any key law enforcement personnel on site January 13th have offered firsthand accounts of what really happened and, more importantly, what went wrong that led to Donald Trump's assassination attempt. Surprisingly as well was that gunman Thomas Matthew Crooks apparently sparked suspicion among the Beaver County SWAT team, but was still able to evade law enforcement and take position on the roof of the very building where counter snipers had been posted. And though their sniper had taken pictures of Crooks and had called into command about his suspicious presence, Crooks later opened up fire on President Donald Trump less than 200 yards from the stage. Beaver County Chief Detective Patrick Young, who runs the emergency services unit and SWAT team, said that they as individuals mean nothing until we come together as a team. And sure enough, the Secret Service and the SWAT team and all the security that day basically meant nothing against the guy with a gun and a drone. Go figure. A panel of senators questioned acting U.S. Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe Jr. during a hearing on the attempted assassination. Senator Mike Lee, in particular, asked how the president could be allowed to take the stage. He described the moments leading up to the assassination attempt as a situation in which, at a minimum, people knew that this guy had a gun at least 2 minutes before the shooting happened. But according to Rowe, no information regarding a weapon on the roof was ever passed on to our personnel. I mean, come on, guys. Senator Ron Johnson aired out his frustrations as well, saying that what little we learned, which he said is disappointing, and for the senator, it sounded like acting director Ronald Rowe was throwing local law enforcement under the bus, but without giving us any details. And he pretty much summed it up by saying that what frustrates him is that we're 17 days after the assassination attempt. Basic information is still not available. Senator Roger Marshall is calling for somebody else to take the wheel in the Secret Service investigation through an independent, non-political commission to study the entire crime scene. He also said that he's calling for our commander-in-chief to immediately appoint a crisis leadership team to go into the Secret Service, establish that leadership, turn things upside down, and begin providing adequate protection for President Trump and others. Because really, guys, these senators are saying what we're all thinking. Something smells a little bit off about the whole thing and the Secret Service just trying to protect their own, and who knows who else might behind the scenes be preventing us from getting answers. You know what I mean? Senator Ted Cruz said so himself. He thinks that the Secret Service leadership made a political decision to deny Donald Trump's request for additional security. Not to mention, the good senator also thinks that the Biden administration has been suffused with partisan politics. The resolution from Senate Republican Conference Chairman John Barrasso is a good start, though. He, together with a very impressive 64 co-sponsors, just introduced a resolution in the Senate to officially condemn the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. And if passed in the upper chamber, Barrasso says that the resolution could condemn or would condemn the attempt on Donald Trump's life, honor the victims who were killed and injured at the rally, and call for unity and civility in the United States. And the majority seems to agree. The condemnation already received 64 co-sponsors, including even two Democratic Pennsylvania senators, Bob Casey and John Fetterman, whose constituents were victims. Who knows, guys? This could very well be the path to getting some very guilty, very nefarious people behind bars. Definitely something to look into again for our next one. Speaking of guilty and nefarious parties, let's not forget about Meta and Google trying to gaslight people into thinking that those photos of Donald Trump's assassination attempt were altered. Trump lashed out at Meta and Google after users reported that images and searches of the assassination attempt were being censored or marked as digitally altered. According to Donald Trump on Truth Social, they made it virtually impossible to find pictures or anything about this heinous act. Both are facing backlash over censorship claims. He called out to the two tech companies saying, "Here we go again, another attempt at rigging the election. Go after Meta and Google. Let them know we are all wise to them. We'll be much tougher this time. MAGA 2024. What about you guys? Are you going to show up for a fair and clean election this November? Well, you know, I'll be here with you guys guys every day until then to make sure that you guys get the latest news and updates. Just double check to confirm you're still subscribed to the channel and have your notification bell turned on. Totally free to do so, and it helps you stay updated on the latest content. I've been hearing from some that YouTube seems to be removing channel subscriptions without people's consent, so I don't know. Just go ahead and double check that this didn't happen to you. Make sure you're still subscribed, and while you're at it, definitely appreciate the click on the like button for us. The more you engage with our videos and the channel, the stronger our community becomes, so that more like-minded people like you can find us. So anyway, thanks guys. If you appreciated this video, check out our other one where we cover MSNBC getting rocked hard as Democrats expose the reality of Kamala Harris's campaign. Definitely a must watch after this one. As always, I'll see y'all on the next one.